The carefully constructed walls around Kody and Robyn Brown's version of reality just came crashing down, and it wasn't some tabloid rumor or fan theory that brought them tumbling. It was Kody's own children. On Patreon, Mykelti Brown Padron and her husband Tony didn't just share their thoughts. They dropped receipts that allegedly expose what's been happening behind the scenes of sister wives for years. And let me tell you, what they're claiming is absolutely explosive. According to their revelations, Robyn Brown has allegedly been using threats and manipulation to control Kody, keeping him isolated from his children and preventing any real reconciliation with his ex-wives. This isn't some vague complaint about her being difficult. These are specific allegations about weaponized ultimatums, financial threats, and psychological control. Mykelti and Tony aren't alone in these claims either. Word on the street suggests that other estranged Brown children, including Gabriel, Savannah, and Maddie, have echoed similar sentiments about what they've witnessed. For years, viewers watched Robyn play the victim on camera, crying about family unity while simultaneously driving wedges between Kody and everyone else. She claimed she wanted the family together, that she was heartbroken over the splits, that she desperately wished for healing. But according to these Patreon revelations, that was all performance. Behind closed doors, sources claim Robyn has been the puppet master pulling strings to ensure Kody stays loyal to her above everyone else, including his own children. The allegations paint a picture of a woman who has allegedly threatened to leave Kody and take everything if he dared to reconcile or make financial decisions that didn't prioritize her. Insiders suggest she's given him ultimatums that forced him to choose between her and his children, knowing full well he's too desperate to make this last marriage work to risk losing her. And every time Kody took steps toward doing the right thing, toward healing relationships or taking accountability, Robyn allegedly reeled him back in with threats and manipulation. This isn't coming from bitter ex-wives or online trolls. This is coming from Kody's children, people who lived this reality, who watched their father transform under Robyn's influence, who witnessed the family implode while she claimed innocence. They're going on record, putting their names and faces to these allegations, and they're not backing down. What makes this even more devastating is that these kids aren't just angry. Reports suggest they're heartbroken. They recognize their father's flaws, his ego, his selfishness, but they also reportedly believe that Robyn has made him exponentially worse, that the man who abandoned them, who chose one woman over 18 children, who verbally abused them and demanded apologies they didn't owe, that man was shaped and controlled by someone who never wanted family unity at all. The Patreon posts are sending shockwaves through the sister wives community because they confirm what so many people suspected all along. This wasn't about plural marriage failing naturally. According to the children, this was orchestrated destruction, and Robyn Brown was allegedly the architect. Here's the thing that makes reconciliation completely impossible, and it's not what Kody wants you to believe. According to Mykelti, Tony, and reports from other estranged Brown children, including Gabriel, Savannah, and Maddie, there's one absolutely non-negotiable condition that stands in the way of any healing. They will not, under any circumstances, reconcile with Kody Brown as long as Robyn remains in his life, period. End of story. Now, you might be thinking, okay, they just don't like her, they're being stubborn, they need to get over it. But that's not what this is about. According to their statements, this isn't about petty dislike or jealousy. This is about protection. Sources close to the situation claim these children have watched Robyn manipulate their father for years, turning him against them, poisoning his perception of reality, and making reconciliation impossible by design. The kids reportedly recognize that Kody himself is deeply problematic. They're not blind to his massive ego, his selfishness, his childish behavior, or the way he only values people when they serve his interests. They see all of that. But here's what makes the Robyn situation different. According to their accounts, every single time Kody takes even the smallest step toward doing the right thing, toward repairing relationships or showing genuine accountability, Robyn allegedly yanks him back with behind-the-scenes ultimatums that cameras never capture. Think about that for a second. We're talking about a pattern where Kody might have moments of clarity, moments where he wants to reach out to his children or make amends, and then suddenly he retreats back into his defensive, angry, alienated position. According to these allegations, that's not coincidence. That's Robyn allegedly working behind the scenes to ensure he stays under her control and isolated from anyone who might challenge her narrative. Word on the street suggests that Robyn has allegedly pit Kody against his own children systematically and deliberately. She's reportedly made him see them as enemies, as people who wronged her, as individuals who owe her apologies for simply telling the truth about what they witnessed. And because Kody is so desperate to make this fourth marriage marriage work after 3 catastrophic failures. Sources claim he refuses to do anything that might upset Robyn, even if that means permanent estrangement from his children. The children reportedly understand the psychology here. They see a father who has failed at plural marriage 3 times over, who has lost 3 wives, who is clinging to Robyn as his last chance at not being completely alone, and they recognize that Robyn allegedly uses that desperation as leverage, controlling his decisions, his relationships, and his entire reality. So when people ask why these kids won't just forgive their father and move on, this is why. According to their statements, it's not about holding grudges. It's about refusing to subject themselves to ongoing manipulation and psychological abuse from someone they fundamentally do not trust. As long as Robyn is in the picture, insiders suggest she will continue to control the narrative, twist their words, and ensure that any attempt at reconciliation fails. Now we're getting into allegations that are absolutely jaw-dropping, and they explain so much about why this family's financial situation has always been such a disaster. According to reports from family members, whenever anyone tried to confront Kody about money issues, about fair distribution of resources, about the financial inequities in the family, Robyn allegedly had a nuclear option ready to deploy, and that option was threatening to divorce him and take absolutely everything. Let that sink in for a moment. Sources claim that anytime family members raised legitimate concerns about finances, about property, about how money was being allocated within the plural family structure, Robyn would allegedly turn around and tell Kody that if he wanted to redistribute funds or make decisions that didn't prioritize her, she would leave him and take all his assets in the divorce. This wasn't just once. Reports suggest this was a pattern that went on for years. Think about the power dynamic that creates. You have a man who's already watching his family crumble, who's desperate to keep at least one wife happy, who's terrified of another failed marriage, and you allegedly have a woman who understands that desperation and weaponizes it by threatening financial ruin if he doesn't comply with her demands. According to these allegations, Robyn essentially made it impossible for Kody to be fair to his other wives or children because doing so meant risking everything. This explains so much about the Coyote Pass disaster, doesn't it? Why Robyn got the massive house while everyone else struggled. Why financial decisions always seemed to benefit her and her children above everyone else. Why Janelle lived in rentals while Robyn had that $1 million mansion. According to insiders, it wasn't just Kody's favoritism. It was allegedly Robyn ensuring that favoritism continued by making the alternative absolutely terrifying for him. Word on the street suggests Robyn understood exactly what she was doing. She allegedly knew that Kody valued his relationship with her above all else, that he was willing to sacrifice his other relationships to keep her happy, and that threatening to leave him was the ultimate control mechanism. And she reportedly used it ruthlessly, not just around money, but around any decision where Kody might have chosen his children or ex-wives over her interests. The children's allegations paint a picture of a woman who wasn't just passively benefiting from Kody's favoritism. She was allegedly actively ensuring that favoritism through manipulation and threats. Every time Kody might have had a moment of conscience, every time he might have thought about being fair to Janelle or helping Christine or supporting his struggling children, sources claim Robyn would allegedly remind him that she held all the cards, that she could leave and destroy him financially. And here's the truly devastating part. According to the children's accounts, Kody was so afraid of losing Robyn, so desperate to make this last marriage work, that he chose her financial threats over his own children's well-being. He reportedly let her control the family's resources, allowed massive inequities to exist, and justified it all because the alternative, losing Robyn and everything he had left, was too terrifying to contemplate. According to the children's accounts, what we're witnessing isn't just favoritism or a new romance. This is something far more psychologically complex and deeply tragic. Sources claim that Kody Brown is so desperately afraid of another failed marriage, so terrified of ending up completely alone, that he has essentially surrendered all autonomy to Robyn, and she allegedly knows it, understands it, and exploits it ruthlessly. Think about Kody's position here. 3 marriages have catastrophically failed. Mary spiritually divorced him, Christine left him, Janelle walked away. His relationship with most of his 18 children is either damaged or completely destroyed. Robyn is literally all he has left. And according to insiders, that desperation has made him incredibly vulnerable to manipulation. The children reportedly describe a father who is so committed to making this 4th marriage work that he refuses to do anything at all, that might upset Robyn. He won't challenge her narrative, he won't question her version of events, he won't stand up for his children when she allegedly paints them as enemies. Because in his mind, sources suggest, upsetting Robyn means losing everything, and he simply cannot psychologically handle another failure. Word on the street suggests this desperation has transformed Kody into someone his children barely recognize. They report reportedly describe watching him adopt Robyn's perspectives completely, viewing situations through her lens, believing her interpretations even when they contradict documented reality. When Robyn claims the children wronged her, Kody believes it. When she positions herself as the victim, he defends her. When she allegedly gives him ultimatums, he complies without question. According to the children's statements, this isn't about Kody genuinely believing Robyn's version of events. It's about him being too afraid to challenge her, because challenging her means risking the relationship. And risking the relationship means facing the reality that he destroyed his entire family, alienated his children, and lost 3 wives for a woman who might also leave him. That's a truth sources claim Kody simply cannot confront. The manipulation allegedly works because Robyn understands his psychological state perfectly. Reports suggest she knows he's desperate, she knows he's terrified of abandonment, and she knows he values their relationship above everything else, including his own children. And she allegedly uses that knowledge to maintain complete control over his decisions, his relationships, and his entire worldview. What makes this even more heartbreaking is that the children reportedly recognize this dynamic. They see their father trapped in a cycle of desperation and control. They understand that he's not choosing Robyn because he genuinely believes she's right. According to their accounts, he's choosing her because he's too psychologically fragile to risk losing her, even when that choice means permanent estrangement from his children. Insiders suggest the kids have tried to break through to him, tried to help him see what's happening, but Robyn's alleged grip is too strong. Every attempt to reach Kody reportedly gets filtered through Robyn's narrative, twisted into another example of the children attacking her, turned into more evidence that they're the problem, and Kody, desperate and afraid, apparently believes her every single time. So why do these children absolutely refuse to have any relationship with Robyn Brown? Why is her presence in Kody's life the complete deal breaker for reconciliation? According to their statements, it all comes down to one devastating reality. They do not trust her, not even a little bit. And that lack of trust isn't about teenage rebellion or stubbornness. It's about years of allegedly watching her manipulate, deceive, and betray. The children reportedly don't trust that Robyn has their best interests at heart. Every interaction with her, every conversation, every family gathering allegedly comes with the underlying fear that she's working an angle, that she's got ulterior motives, that whatever kindness she shows is actually a setup for something else. According to insiders, that's an exhausting and damaging way to exist, and these kids have decided they're done subjecting themselves to it. They reportedly don't trust that Robyn won't twist their words against them. Sources claim the children have witnessed her take innocent comments, casual observations, or legitimate concerns and spin them into attacks, offenses, or evidence of their bad character. And then she allegedly takes those twisted interpretations to Kody, getting him angry at his children for things they never actually said or meant. That pattern has reportedly created an environment where anything the children say can and will be used against them. Word on the street suggests they don't trust that Robyn won't manipulate situations to benefit herself at their expense. Whether it's financial decisions, family dynamics, or simple interactions, the children reportedly believe that Robyn is always calculating how to come out on top. They claim she positions herself as the victim while actually being the perpetrator, that she creates chaos while blaming everyone else, that she plays mind games that leave people questioning their own reality. The children reportedly don't trust that Robyn won't turn Kody against them even further. According to their accounts, she has a history of getting into Kody's ear after family interactions, reframing what happened, highlighting perceived slights, and convincing him that his children disrespected her or crossed lines they never actually crossed. Sources suggest this has led to situations where the children leave family events thinking things went fine, only to later discover Kody is furious with them because of how Robyn allegedly reinterpreted everything. Here's what makes this lack of trust so significant. The children reportedly have issues with Kody too. They recognize his narcissism, his ego, his failures as a father. But Robyn is different because she's not their mother. They didn't choose her. They don't have the biological bond or history that might create obligation to maintain a relationship. And according to their perspective, she's someone their father chose over them, someone who made their dad even worse, someone who destroyed what was left of their family. So when people suggest these kids should just get over it and accept Robyn, they're missing the point entirely. According to the children's statements, accepting Robyn means accepting ongoing manipulation. It means opening themselves up to having their words twisted, their intentions questioned, and their relationship with their father sabotaged. And they've reportedly decided that's a price they're absolutely unwilling to pay. Remember that moment when Kody told Robyn he wanted to apologize to his ex-wives? The scene where he explained that he felt bad about the hurtful things he said during the breakups and wanted to make amends? Robyn's reaction to that conversation was absolutely revealing, and according to the children's allegations, it exposes everything you need to know about her real motivations. Instead of encouraging her husband to take accountability, instead of supporting him in doing the right thing, Robyn allegedly tried to talk him out of apologizing. She told him he shouldn't be so hard on himself, that his hurt was normal, that he didn't need to feel bad. And on the surface, that might sound supportive, but according to insiders, what was really happening was damage control, because an apology from Kody threatens everything Robyn has allegedly built. Here's why this matters so much. If Kody apologizes to his ex-wives and admits he was wrong about the things he said, if he acknowledges that he acted badly when they left, if he takes responsibility for being verbally abusive and cruel, then he's essentially backing away from his entire defense of Robyn. Because the fights he had with Christine, Janelle, and Mary weren't just about those relationships failing. They were about how those women allegedly treated Robyn. Kody kicked his family members out, burned bridges with his children, and destroyed decades of relationships because he claimed they disrespected Robyn, didn't follow her rules, and made her feel unwelcome. According to sources, if he now turns around and apologizes for those fights, for that anger, for those accusations, it completely invalidates Robyn's victim narrative. It suggests that maybe she wasn't the wronged party after all. Maybe the other wives and the children had legitimate grievances that Kody should have listened to. Word on the street suggests that's exactly why Robyn doesn't want him to apologize. An apology forces accountability, and accountability means Robyn would have to face the truth about her own role in this family's destruction. She'd have to acknowledge that maybe her rules were unreasonable. Maybe her grudges were petty. Maybe her manipulation of Kody against his children was cruel and unjustified. And according to the children's allegations, that's something she absolutely will not tolerate. Reports suggest Robyn wants Kody to remain convinced that he was right to fight for her, right to defend her, right to choose her over everyone else. Because if he starts questioning those decisions, if he begins to see that maybe he was manipulated into destroying his family, then her control over him weakens. The entire foundation of their relationship, built on him believing she's the victim and everyone else is the aggressor, starts to crumble. So when Robyn tells Kody he doesn't need to apologize, when she dismisses his guilt as just being hurt, sources claim she's not being a supportive wife. She's allegedly protecting her position. She's making sure he stays locked into the narrative where she's blameless, where the ex-wives and children are the problem, where every bridge he burned was justified. Because the alternative, Kody recognizing the truth, is apparently too dangerous for her to allow. Let's take a walk down memory lane, because the children's allegations about Robyn's manipulation make so much more sense when you actually look at her documented track record. This isn't speculation, this is stuff we all watched happen on camera, behavior that's been recorded and broadcast for years. And when you line it all up, the pattern becomes absolutely undeniable. Robyn spent years, literal years, holding a grudge against Janelle's sons, Gabriel and Garrison. She blamed them for not following what she claimed were Kody's rules during the situation involving filming and family gatherings. She demanded apologies from teenage boys for supposedly disrespecting her. She made herself the victim of their alleged attacks when really they were just calling out the obvious truth that her rules were designed to keep everyone away from Kody. Then there's the personality test incident that still blows my mind. We all watched Robyn take that test on camera. We saw her fill it out herself. But then at the tell-all, she claimed Christine took the test for her, that Christine didn't know her well enough, that Christine was being mean by calling her dramatic. She held that grudge for years, bringing it up repeatedly, playing the victim because someone pointed out aspects of her personality she didn't want to hear. That's manipulative rewriting of reality right there on television. Word on the street suggests Robyn became absolutely exhausted by feedback about how controlling she was of Kody. She literally said on camera that if she saw another wife in a plural family controlling a husband enough to affect other relationships, she would think that wife was a bad person. But instead of taking accountability when people pointed out she was doing exactly that, she became the victim of the truth. Every time someone tried to show her the reality of her behavior, sources claim she created a scene and made them the bully. And let's talk about how she treated the children. Hunter Brown was just a teenager when Robyn reportedly spent years going after him before he left the show. Then she turned her focus to Gabriel and Garrison, creating conflicts that became toxic and allegedly verbally abusive. She accused children of bullying her kids, demanded they do what she wanted, and positioned herself as the adult victim of teenage aggression. She made it so children had to apologize to her before they could even enter her home. According to reports, Robyn picked fights with Christine's daughters too, not just the boys. She had issues with multiple children across the family, but always positioned herself as the one being attacked, never as the aggressor. Sources claim she told Kody his kids needed to show her respect, needed to make amends to her, needed to prove themselves worthy of his attention. And here's the thing that makes all of this so devastating. devastating. The entire reason this family broke down, according to insiders, was because Kody chose Robyn and fought to convince everyone else to comply with her demands. He demanded the wives become more like her, more submissive, more obedient. He demanded the boys apologize to her. He wouldn't invite his kids to his house because Robyn wouldn't allow them in hers. Now, we need to talk about something absolutely heartbreaking. Something that the children reference when they discuss why Robyn's alleged manipulation isn't just family drama, it's something that had real, devastating, irreversible consequences. We need to talk about what happened to Garrison Brown. Robyn reportedly spent years holding a grudge against Garrison over the situation involving her rules and the conflicts around filming and family gatherings. What started as disagreements about protocols allegedly escalated into something far more toxic and verbally abusive. According to sources close to the family, the conflict between Robyn, Kody, and Garrison became so intense, so cruel, so psychologically damaging that it contributed to a mental health crisis that ended in tragedy. Garrison struggled with depression. His mental health declined as the family fractured and his relationship with his father disintegrated. Reports suggest he turned to alcohol to cope with the pain of being rejected by Kody, of being labeled as disrespectful, of being told he needed to apologize for offenses he never actually committed. And ultimately, devastatingly, he took his own life. Word on the street suggests Robyn enabled Kody's paranoia and delusions during those conflicts. She allegedly made him believe that his sons were attacking her, that they were being deliberately cruel, that they owed her apologies and compliance. And Kody, under her influence, according to insiders, took a stand against his own children that never should have happened. He allegedly became verbally abusive, made demands, cut off contact, and treated his sons like enemies instead of young men who were hurting and confused. Robyn blamed Garrison and Gabriel for not following what she claimed were necessary rules. She held a grudge because they called her out, because they accused her of being the one making the demands, because they saw through the manipulation and said it out loud, and according to sources, she believed their honesty was unforgivable. She allegedly convinced Kody that these boys needed to be punished, needed to grovel, needed to prove themselves worthy of his attention again. Think about how cruel that is. These were Kody's sons. They weren't attacking Robyn. According to reports, they were simply pointing out the obvious truth that her rules were designed to isolate Kody from the rest of the family. And for that honesty, for that clarity, they were allegedly subjected to years of conflict, grudges, demands for apologies, and ultimately estrangement from their father. To this day, sources claim Robyn doesn't even allow a photograph of Garrison to hang inside her home. His picture allegedly sits in the garage with Kody's other belongings literally pushed out to a storage space instead of being honored as a deceased child of the family. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about how Robyn allegedly viewed these children, nothing will. The children reference Garrison's tragedy when they talk about why they can't reconcile with Kody while Robyn remains in his life. Because according to their perspective, this isn't ancient history, this is recent, raw, devastating proof of what Robyn's alleged manipulation can do. And they reportedly refuse to subject themselves to the same treatment that contributed to their brother's death. Now that the dust has settled, now that Christine, Janelle, and Mary are gone and Robyn has Kody all to herself, insiders suggest her entire demeanor has shifted dramatically. The tearful peacemaker who allegedly cried about family unity for years has reportedly vanished, replaced by someone who seems to be taking a very different approach. And that approach, according to sources, looks a whole lot like a victory lap. Remember the Coyote Pass property signing, that final awkward meeting where the fractured family gathered to sign away the last piece of their supposed shared dream? Robyn and Kody reportedly refused to even greet Janelle and Mary. No hello, no goodbye, just cold, calculated silence. And when questioned about it, Robyn justified her behavior by claiming she doesn't endorse fakeness, that she wasn't going to pretend everything was okay when it wasn't. But here's what makes that justification so hollow. For over a decade, sources claim Robyn was the absolute queen of fakeness. She allegedly performed concern for the family, cried about unity, pushed for therapy sessions and family meetings, all while reportedly working behind the scenes to isolate Kody from everyone else. She allegedly pretended to care about the plural family while securing her position as the only wife that mattered. So this sudden commitment to authenticity, word on the street suggests it's just another manipulation. The truth is, according to insiders, Robyn no longer needs to perform the role of sister-wife advocate because she won. She's Kody's only legal wife. She has the mansion, she has his attention and resources. She doesn't need the other women anymore, so she doesn't have to fake politeness. The mask has dropped because maintaining it no longer serves her interests. And then there's the absolutely devastating detail about Garrison's photograph. To this day, sources claim Robyn does not allow a picture of Garrison to hang inside her home. Instead, his photograph allegedly sits in the garage where Kody keeps all his stuff, literally relegated to a storage space instead of being honored in the family home. Think about what that says. A child of this family took his own life, and his photograph reportedly isn't even welcome in the house where his father lives. That's not grief, that's not sensitivity. According to the children's perspective, that's Robyn continuing to punish Garrison even in death, continuing to hold her grudge, continuing to make sure Kody understands that her comfort matters more than honoring his deceased son. It's allegedly the ultimate display of control, making sure that even in tragedy, her preferences take priority. Reports suggest the children see all of this as proof that Robyn never actually cared about family unity or healing. She allegedly cared about winning, about securing her position, about eliminating competition. And now that she's won, now that the other wives are gone and the estranged children have given up trying, sources claim she's showing her true colors. No more fake tears, no more performative concern, just cold victory and absolute control over the man who destroyed his entire family to keep her happy. So here's the question everyone's asking: why now? Why are Mykelti, Tony, and the other estranged Brown children finally going public with these explosive allegations on Patreon? Why are they putting their names and faces to claims about Robyn's alleged manipulation, threats, and control? According to sources close to the situation, the answer is both simple and profound. They're absolutely exhausted from watching Kody and Robyn rewrite history and play victim when they've allegedly been the architects of this family's destruction all along. For years, these children reportedly stayed relatively quiet. They dealt with their pain privately. They processed their estrangement away from cameras. They let Kody and Robyn control the narrative on sister wives, painting themselves as the wounded parties, the ones who tried so hard to keep the family together, the ones who were abandoned and disrespected. But according to insiders, watching that false narrative play out season after season became unbearable. Word on the street suggests the children are tired of being blamed, tired of being portrayed as the problem, as the ungrateful kids who won't forgive, as the ones keeping reconciliation from happening. Because according to their allegations, that's not the truth at all. The truth, they claim, is that reconciliation isn't possible because of Robyn's behind-the-scenes control, her manipulation tactics, and her absolute refusal to let Kody have relationships that don't serve her interests. Reports suggest these kids want the world to understand that this isn't about them being stubborn or holding grudges or refusing to move forward. According to their statements, this is about protecting themselves from ongoing psychological abuse. This is about refusing to subject themselves to a woman they fundamentally don't trust, a woman who has allegedly used threats to control their father, who has twisted their words against them, who has made reconciliation impossible by design. The children reportedly want people to understand that their father isn't just a narcissist who chose a new wife over his existing family. According to their perspective, he's a man who has been manipulated and controlled, who has been given ultimatums that forced him to choose, who has been isolated from his children through calculated behind-the-scenes maneuvering that viewers never saw on camera. And perhaps most importantly, sources suggest the children are speaking out because they're done watching Robyn play victim. Done watching her claim she wanted family unity while allegedly sabotaging every attempt at reconciliation. Done watching her position herself as the wronged party when they believe she was the perpetrator all along. Done watching her get away with behavior that allegedly contributed to their brother's death without ever facing accountability. According to insiders, as long as Robyn is in the picture, real healing is impossible. Not because the children are being unreasonable, but because she allegedly won't allow it. She reportedly won't allow Kody to apologize, won't allow him to take accountability, won't allow him to have relationships with his children that she doesn't control. And the children are finally saying that truth out loud, putting it on record, making sure people understand that this estrangement isn't about their failure to forgive, it's about Robyn's alleged refusal to stop manipulating and controlling everything and everyone around her. What are your thoughts on Kody's children finally exposing what they claim has been happening behind closed doors? Drop your opinions in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned. The next video is waiting and you won't want to miss what's coming next.